Hello friends, welcome to Automation Community. Today in this video we are going to discuss an example which will be about manufacturing line assembly. So let's look at the example first. Manufacturing line assembly. Product should move through 3 assembly stations with each station operating for 15 seconds. So the product will move through a conveyor belt system, and there will be some proximity sensors at each station that will detect the presence of that product at that station. So the presence of the product will be detected by a proximity sensor, and that proximity sensor will stop that conveyor for some time, that is 15 seconds. So this proximity sensor will stop the conveyor belt system for 15 seconds, and it will activate the components that will do the service at that particular assembly station. So for this we will use a normally open contact for a start button. We will also use a normally open contact for proximity sensors. And then we will use some normally closed contacts that will help us to stop the conveyor belt system. We will also use some memory bits for this operation. With that also, we will be also using timer like TP, that is pulse timer. So let's move to EcoStruxure Machine Expert, where we will draw a ladder diagram for manufacturing line assembly. I will open EcoStruxure Machine Expert Basic. I will keep read protection as inactive and write protection as inactive as well. That results uploading the application from the controller is unrestricted, and downloading an application to the controller or modifying the application in the controller is unrestricted. So if I keep it active, then uploading the application from the controller is disabled due to the blank password. That means if we keep it active, we have to set password here. And then uploading the application from the controller will be restricted. That means it will need a password, and also downloading an application to the controller or modifying the application in the controller will be restricted. That is, it will ask for the password that we have put it here. So for now, I will keep it inactive for read protection as well as write protection. And then I will click on apply. So after that, I will go to configuration tab. So here we have to select the logic controller. We have to configure the device in this tab. So here is a list of different logic controllers. I will be using TM221C24R. I will click on it and then drag it to here. Do you want to replace TM221M16RG by TM221C24R? You may lose some features and associated configuration. So I want to replace it, so I will click on yes. So here is a device description about TM221C24R. That is, it has 14 digital inputs, 10 relay outputs, 2 analog inputs, 1 serial line port, and 100 to 240 volt AC power supply controller with removable terminal blocks. So after that, I can also go to serial line, where I will select protocol as TMH2GDB. I can also set it as Modbus ASCII TMS2GDB or Modbus Serial I/O Scanner. I will keep it TMS2GDB for now. And then I will click on Apply. So if I keep protocol as TMS2GDB, then there is no need to set the serial line settings. So after that, I will click on Programming tab. So here I will be drawing ladder diagram for manufacturing line assembly. I can also click on this option to set a full screen mode. I can also click on this option to unset full screen mode. So for now, I will set the full screen mode. And then I can also zoom into it like this. I can also zoom out like this. So firstly, I will insert a normally open contact. And I will assign address to this normally open contact as I0.0, or I will keep it as I0.1. And then I will assign symbol to it as sensor 1. Yes. So this sensor 1 will detect the presence of that product at assembly station number 1. And I will insert a coil here and I will assign address to this coil as M0, which is a memory bit. This memory bit will store the state of sensor 1. And for this, I will use a timer and that should be TP. And I will change time base to 1 second and preset value as 15 and then click on apply. That means when sensor 1 gets activated, then M0 also gets activated for 15 seconds. With this memory bit, I will also add one more coil here and I will assign address to it as Q0.0 or 0.1. I will also add symbol to it as station 1. This station 1 will consist of all the components that will be used to operate on that product. Or I can also say like this, that all those components, machines that will be used for the assembly of that product. So I will connect it like this. So when sensor 1 gets activated, M0 and the components at station 1 will be activated for 15 seconds only. After that, it will be turned off. Similarly, I will add a new rung here for assembly station number 2. So I will insert a normally open contact. I will also assign address to this normally open contact as I0.2. I will also add symbol to it as sensor 2. Yes, so this sensor will detect the presence of that product at assembly station number 2. I will add two more coils in this rung, one for memory bit and another for the components at station number 2. So I will assign address to this coil as M1 and also address to this coil as Q0.2. I will also add symbol to this as station 2 that comprises of all the components that will be used, all the machines that will be used at assembly station number 2. So for this also I will use a timer, and that will be obviously TP, and I will change time base to 1 second and preset value as 15. Apply. So when sensor 2 gets activated, that is when the product has reached assembly station 2, the sensor 2 gets activated, and when sensor 2 gets activated, M1 and station number 2, the components at the station 2 will get activated for 15 seconds. So I will connect this like this. So after that, I will add a new rung here for station number 3. Similarly, I will insert a normally open contact, and I will assign address to this normally open contact as I0.3. I will also add symbol to it as sensor 3. So this sensor will be at the assembly station number 3, that it will detect the presence of the product at assembly station number 3. So I will insert a coil here. I will insert one more coil. So first one will be the memory bit that will store the state of this input, that is sensor number 3. So I will assign address to it as M2. I will also assign address to this coil as Q0.3. I will also add symbol to it as station 3. Yes. So this station 3 comprises of all the components, all the machines that will be used to operate at the station number 3. So I will connect it like this. And then I will use one more timer here for M2 and station number 3. So I will insert a timer here that will be again pulse timer, that is TP, and I will change time base to 1 second and preset value as 15, and then apply. So when sensor 3 gets activated, M2 and station number 3 gets activated. So when the product has reached the station number 3, the sensor 3 gets activated and M2 gets activated for 15 seconds, and all the components, all the machines at the station number 3 will be activated. So we will use these memory bits, that is M0, M1 and M2, to stop the conveyor belt system. So I will add a new rung here, and I will insert a normally open contact, and I will assign address to it as I0.0. I will also add symbol to it as start button. Yes. And then I will insert a coil here, and I will assign address to it as Q0.0. I will also add symbol to it as conveyor. That will be obviously the motor which will be driving this conveyor belt system. So when start button is turned on, conveyor belt will be moving. So it will move the product to different stations. And while moving, the product will reach the station number 1. And when it reaches the station number 1, the sensor 1, which is placed at the station number 1, gets activated, and which will turn this M0 and all the components at that particular station, these get activated. And after that, after 15 seconds, these will stop, and again the conveyor should move. So we will use these memory bits here as normally closed contacts. So there will be 3 normally close contacts for each station. As there are 3 stations, so there will be 3 sensors and there will be 3 normally close contacts used here. So first one will be M0 and then M1 and then M3. So when it reaches the station number 1, the sensor 1 gets activated and it will activate M0. And when M0 gets activated, the conveyor belt will stop and it will stop for 15 seconds. And with that also, during that time, all the components at station number 1 gets activated. And after that, after 15 seconds, M0 will become false and also these components will also turn off. So when M0 will be false, then again the current will flow through it and conveyor will again start. So when conveyor will again start, the product will reach station number 2 after leaving station number 1. So at station number 2, the sensor placed there will get activated and it will activate M1 for 15 seconds. And when M1 gets activated for 15 seconds, so the current will not flow through it for 15 seconds. As a result, the conveyor will stop for 15 seconds. And during that time, the components, the machines at station number 2 will turn on. And it will remain on for 15 seconds. So after 15 seconds, M1 gets false. So when M1 gets false, the current will flow through it and conveyor will again start. And after leaving this station number 2, it will reach to station number 3. And there the sensor place, that is sensor number 3, will get activated and that will activate M2 for 15 seconds. And when M3 will get activated for 15 seconds, the conveyor will again stop for 15 seconds. And during those 15 seconds, the components, the machines placed at station number 3 will turn on, will work on that particular product, and after that, M2 will become false. And when M2 become false, the conveyor will again start. So I will keep it M2. So I will exit full screen mode and I will compile the program. And I will go to commissioning and launch simulator. After that, I will start controller. To do so, click OK. So I'll go to programming and click on full screen mode. So when I turn on start button, the conveyor will start and the product will reach at station number 1 and the sensor 1 gets activated. So when sensor 1 gets activated, M0 will get activated for 15 seconds and as a result the conveyor will stop. And during that time, the machines placed at station number 1 will operate on that product. And after 15 seconds, M0 gets false, and when M0 gets false, the conveyor will again move. And when it will move, it will reach to the station number 2. That is, the sensor 2 will get activated. And when sensor 2 will get activated, M1 and the components will turn on. So as a result, the conveyor will stop and the machines placed at station 2 will turn on. And after 15 seconds, M1 will become false and conveyor will again start. And after that, it will reach to station 3 and there sensor 3 will get activated and M2 will get activated for 15 seconds and as a result, conveyor will stop and the component, the machines will operate at station number 3 for 15 seconds. And after that, after those 15 seconds, the conveyor will again start. It was all about this example. Thank you for watching.